Hey guys, this is been a long time since I posted a video. I got back from Peru and back stateside, so it's nice that I can play games now without any lag. Playing ranked games and stuff was really rough down there because, especially with my playstyle, with manga dai, it's like you have to have like really quick reactions as is, and if you have a little bit of lag, you can lose your whole army really quickly. So it just felt bad to play those games and just like lose because I reacted, but the units reacted like a couple seconds later, and it's just not. It wasn't really fun for me. So I was playing a lot of single player, working on build orders, and I was playing a lot of Total War as well. I'm a really big fan of Total War. But that being said, I'm back in the States now. I'm gonna have time to play. I'm gonna start posting again. Hopefully, I'm gonna start testing out that new build order a little bit and see how this kind of goes. Yeah, hopefully I can start getting a feel for season 5 now. A lot better feel than I had because I played a few games, but not a lot. So, let's see. We're gonna just do a quick warm up match. I'm just gonna kind of show you guys kind of what I usually do. I usually do a warm up match either on quick match or just sometimes I hop right into ranked. But since it's been a while since I played, we're gonna hop into just a skirmish, and we're just gonna try to do our build order real quick and try to over here. So we're gonna do my last build order that I did, which is kind of more of a balanced rush. So we're going for Keshik, but after Keshik, we're gonna make sure we crank out a wheelbarrow and rotate into trade behind that. But it's just a little bit more eco-focused. So you're getting that second Keshik out a little bit later, that second rotation of units out a little bit later, because you're focusing on getting eco upgrades. And we're gonna kind of see how it goes. It feels, in terms of eco wise, by the 10-minute mark, you're already like producing generally 200 more resources than my kind of super aggro build that I usually do, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, I guess it can depend on matchup what you want, but I think it's that extra 200 resources. Sure, it's an extra unit or two in Dark Age, that you could be making for like winning your early battles, which can be really big. But there's also instances where the game isn't going to end in those first 10-15 minutes, so that extra you know unit isn't really going to pay off huge amount of dividends. So it's better to go for a bigger scale kind of a boom, which is kind of what this build order is. um, yeah, so this build order is it's just more balanced. It's just, it's a little bit less military troops early on. Like one less troop, basically, is what's happening is you're getting one less unit, at least cav unit. So I guess spearmen you'd be getting a couple less, but you're getting overall 200 more resources, and so you're getting more stuff in this 10-minute window. It's just coming a little bit later, which is again, depending on what you're trying to do, isn't a big deal. We're a little bit late here on our age up. Okay. Running over here. We already dropped off a lot of sheep, and that's kind of one thing you have to be careful with in terms of bots. That you're not grabbing too many resources like with the early sheep. Like it's okay to um so like after that first sheep haul that we had here, we had like 8 sheep. We're just gonna like stop collecting sheep. If we pick up more sheep, we're just gonna donate them to the AI because you're not actually gonna be getting that many sheep usually in a game. Our split here is 2 going to gold, 1 is going to food, and 1 is going to wood. That's just a split that's important to keep track of. So this village over here. Sometimes that'll happen when they're all rallied onto that one straggler. So it's important that you kind of micro that if necessary. So this one straggler, everyone was chopping onto there. So once they ran out of wood, it would have taken them a minute to get enough wood for the turn-in. So just forcing a drop off there can be a really good move at times. Timing wise, you can see that at the 4-minute mark, when age ups are happening, we've got a scout here on his TC. So we would see what our opponent is doing and kind of react accordingly to that. And age up is happening. There we go. Keshik at 418. Oh, again, that's really nice. We've got 9 villages on food. We'll go up to a 10th onto food. I think I messed up somewhere along the lines. Oh, I totally forgot to drop a villager onto gold. So this is actually going to be kind of big in terms of like what's going to be happening with our unit production. So it's a little bit of a mistake here on my part, but it's not like end of the world type stuff here. Start rallying the villagers onto wood. Double broad axe isn't a bad play, but we are stashing up all that gold specifically because we're trying to get out wheelbarrow. We're gonna have to build a horseman here because we don't have. Let's go over here. We don't have our another infrastructure out. Wish I could talk. Might be nice. We're gonna get up to 8 villagers onto wood here. This is kind of a shitty map for trade. I think we'll just go over here. I don't know, it's just weird. We're gonna go sacrifice our Khan and this sheep because there's no need. So I can tell that my build is like pretty rusty right now. We can drop this real quick, then we'll go back onto here. The rest of our villagers onto here. We're gonna drop a second barracks or stable, which is something I usually don't do, but we are gonna try to force a play here. Get this upgrade. Come over here. We're just gonna rally in our circle around his base, just to act like we're staying proactive with our military. Keep building units here. I really should be on 6 villagers on gold, so a little bit of a mess up on my build order here. Let's see how much gold these guys are returning. 33, so not the best return. Again, it just kind of depends on like how you would play this, I guess. Like this map is not a great spawn for us. There we go. This would be kind of the point where, like, see, the same villagers over here. Come over here, kill this. Send the villager over here to build a tower on the market. This is where we'd have to fight this. Let's see, get these upgrades. I really like to get more upgrades. One bad thing is we don't have like great fences going on over here. Go, here's a little bit of army. Fortunately, we lost that villager here. Come over here. Okay, so I usually do like a 10-minute test run just to get the build order right, because there's gonna be a lot of variation depending on like civ that we match up against and things. But just want to get like a feel, just get a warm up, and then what I kind of like to do is, since I've ran this specific build order so much, I kind of have a good idea. I get a good idea of how it is. So first, let's check our trade here. We have 3 and 6. We have 9 traders. So this is really big. I usually only go 1 market on this build, but now going with 2 markets is really nice, because all of a sudden I've got because usually I'm maxing around 6, 7 traders with just 1 market, and you can see this has 6 traders. But with the additional market, all of a sudden I've been able to produce a lot more. Militarily, we've got 3 manga die, 4th manga die on the way. No manga die in queue. No, actually I don't think this. Yeah, the queues aren't shown. But military production wise, we got a Keshik as horsemen, 6 Keshik, 2 horses. So we have a good sized military here. You can kind of see that's the big plus here of the wheelbarrow. It's like overall, like we're a little bit slower on this early mass, like on the size of our mass that we have early on, because we're committing that extra resources into wheelbarrow and eco upgrades. But overall, you're collecting a lot more resources. This here, we need to micro this a little bit better. Shoot these deer, pick off a couple villagers, usually with 2 sets of 4 at most, like 3 sets of 2. You can just pick these off and just trade them off, and just try not to spend too much time doing it as well, depending. But yeah, overall I think this is kind of what the builder is, what we're trying to do. This is a decent mass, and I think there's this kind of mass you can hold your position, and like usually if you do a little bit aggro here too with those early on Keshiks, like that's really good too. Just kind of depends what your opponents do. Since this was just a build order warm up, we do like, I don't like go like, I guess, super hard against the AI. I guess I could for an even better warm up, which isn't like a bad idea either. Sometimes maybe like going against like, I don't know, like the hardest, whatever it is, absurdist or whatever. You could do that just to test it out. And then another thing is, at the end of this build order, I was always doing adding up my food, my wood, and my gold. So just adding this up really quick, I have 6,700 resources. So that's kind of where I'm always sitting in terms of resources collected with this build. I'm sitting around 6,700, 6,800. Sometimes it spikes up to like 7, but it's just kind of like depends on like spawns and things like that. For example, that trade line would have been pretty tough to hold, and it's not like a really great neutral trade spot. it might have been a better position to send that market to the north and hold it there. But it's overall, it's not like a terrible thing. Like I guess because the issue is this trade post is further away from him. So if I'd set up a trade post here and just traded like this, a short trade, it's not a bad idea, and then I could always trade across map. But it's pretty rough to like be able to like defend this because it's like right outside of his base. Versus at least this line, he's got to walk across the map. So I think in game, that's usually the best trade route that you could probably take is like this. Taking it from this corner over is a little risky, and that's the one thing about Dry Arabia. It's a map where like it's not necessarily the best ideas to go for trade boom. But yeah, so that's one thing. There's definitely maps that are better, but the point is we just did a little bit of a warm up. We're kind of good to go now, and let's hop into a rank. I haven't played a rank in a while, a solo rank. So let's see how it goes. Let's see what we get matched up against. We are Diamond 2 right now. But it's been a while since we've played, so we'll see how it goes. I don't like Hideout. I don't like the Pit, even though, and I don't like Hill and Dale. Even though Pit is a really good trading map, and Hill and Dale usually has a really good trade spawns too. Hideout as well, but I just don't. I don't like those maps. I really don't like how they play out, how they feel. The Pit is usually it just gets walled off. It turns into a slog so quickly. And it's such a direct battle, straight line. Like it's kind of like sometimes it works for us, but it's usually not in our favor. Just because we make Magandai. Like if we made Archer balls, if you go Keshiks and Archer foot archers, go for the Pit, go for Hillendale. I'd say 100%. Even the Hideout because foot archers are just so much stronger than Magandai right now. The big thing is that they complement so well with your Keshiks because they get that bonus damage against Spearmen. Okay, so we got Boulder Bay, which is like if we do our build order, we just lose. Like it's not. I mean, I guess I could try because the trade line is over there, but his food is so early. We have to go for Doc here, so we're not gonna get a chance to showcase our build order here because it's Boulder Bay, and you can't really do that. You just kind of lose if you do that. So we're gonna do a dock opening, and we'll see how it goes here. Hopefully, see English. So it's gonna be interesting. Sorry if I stop talking, guys, when I play. Sometimes I get focused and I can't keep up. My brain can't keep up. Short circuits. Wow, what an opening. Yeah, so I messed up my opening pretty bad here. Not collecting all my sheep properly. I wonder if this dock opening is like messed up for me. I don't know. It looks kind of weird. It looks kind of sketchy. We're getting a lot of sheep, which is nice. Start collecting more wood here. This villager should come over here. Actually, this one should go on to gold. Okay, so we're okay in terms of food collection here. Kind of shitty what that dock did, like in terms of spawn. I think we forgot to say good luck to our opponent as well. That's not a big deal. No reason to worry about that, and then we'll scout his side of the map after this. Okay, we got plenty of fishing going. Build this, and then I want him to come over here onto gold. So build this, and then I think I want you over here. Okay, his fishing is up and about. Okay, he's got a single dock. Come up here, check out if he's got more. I want to drop here. Okay, I gotta look for aging up now. Like pretty soon. Yeah, so we're behind on the age up, which is really big. think it's over. I think this match might be completely over at this point. So yeah, that's not good. That is not good at all. I think we lose water is pretty big. But I don't think it's like game over. I mean, it feels like it, but I think we can build some markets and we can try to crawl our way back into this. Here we go up to triple market. And we try to stabilize off of this. We might be able to. I think I was just too late on the water there. Like the age up there, we kind of messed up our our macroing there. That's something else I'm gonna have to test. Is like I used to have a really good build order like way back in season 1 for the split here for aging up, for food and stuff for aging up and getting a really good timing. Because as Mongols, you have a better timing than other civs because you have a little bit more extra wood. and you don't have to build up for houses. Economy count? Yeah, see I had a better eco. And then I just messed it up by not grabbing the water in time here. So that's a little bit unfortunate. It's just kind of a map thing in this case. And he was able to crank out some units here. And I didn't spot the units. Like I could have spotted the units and I didn't. So kind of a big mistake on my part. Like I had really good I would have had really good trade coming in, but it probably would have been a little bit too late. Instead of making cavalry first, I could have made Mangadai. He had 9 Mangadai, some spearmen. I guess I had what, like five Keshiks out or 4. So it probably would have been a little bit too little too late. So again, and losing water is really rough. Like the timing on that was really bad on my part. Um yeah, I gotta work on a build order for that for sure. So that'll be the next thing I gotta work on. I didn't even think about that, about like how the map was got so much water in it. But at this point, with like this much eco down, what was the eco difference here at this point? Yeah, we're looking at like almost a 10 eco difference, and he's just streaming in units. Like I have no answer to these spears really, and it's gonna take me too long to get them like really going here. So a little bit of a mistake, I guess, on my part there. And then yeah, I don't know, maybe the wheelbarrow early, like I did, maybe not have been a good move. I should have been invested in ships early. But yeah, definitely a lot of mistakes. This is gonna be an interesting match for me to like look into again, and check out a different build order for like the fastest H2 kind of build order I can do with like ships. So I'm gonna have to check that out. Because I definitely did feel like there was definitely a lot of space for improvement there in terms of my age up timing and stuff. So I'll have to review that again. Um, but hopefully we get a different map this time. What is the map for? Golden Heights, Volcanic Island. Yeah, so I think there is definitely a lot of water maps here. Like if I put these 3 maps in, I could ban all water maps. But um, I don't. I guess I don't mind them too bad. I gotta work on a build order for him. I don't really have a good build order. Like my H2 timing was not even close to competitive there. He had like 3 ships out by the time I got 1 out. So, and I had better eco, so it's just nothing. That's just like bad macro. That's all it is. So. And I think the placement of my dock too was kind of weird. Like it was so far back. It was kind of weird. I figured like it would come forward a lot more, but it didn't. So kind of a mistake there. Um. All right. So now we're playing on
Good luck.
marshlands,
Have fun.
and this is a better. This is definitely a lot better map for our trade
Good luck.
strat here.
Have fun.
It's gonna be a lot more feasible. So he's picking a color really close to mine, which I don't like. So we'll go with red here. It's just so we're different colors, so it's gonna be easy to tell his units from mine. Okay, he's Ottoman. So this is kind of another thing where like, yeah, we can do our stable rush, but really against Ottomans, since he's almost always gonna go for spearmen, dark military school. We kind of want to go for um. You kind of almost want to go for whatchamacallit, archery range first. So we're gonna delay our production a little bit, which means I'd have to like adjust my builder a little bit to get more gold early on, I believe. Okay, his scout is in front of ours. This is really bad. But he's going for a different angle than we are, so we should be able to get a cutoff here. This sheep is ours. That's nice. This sheep is also ours, so whatever sheep he picks up here in the back. Looks like he doesn't pick up any sheep. That works out in our favor in the end. It's nice. Okay. So that's not too bad. The bad side is our Uvu is what he's going to attack, is going to be really far back. Plus side is a really nice market for us. Let's go check out his base now. Put one villager onto this first straggler tree for faster production, or wood chopping, I guess. Like, I don't know if we have enough resources here. Oh man. Okay, his scout found us there. Point 2 of you onto gold, and the other 2 of you onto food. We're switching up our build order just a little bit here. He's ran to the back there. I want to spout his market, which should be in this back corner. I wonder where he spawned. Like, yeah, this is Dark Age Spearman. Kind of expecting that. We got 3 on there. Let's get more into food. And we're not going to go for Keshik right off rip. We will wait for Age Up to drop our... Or actually, do we counter raid and just go for the counter raid immediately? Maybe we do. Maybe we just do that. No, we gotta push him back. I think it's smarter to push him back actually. Just come over here. Start sending this villager over to start dropping a range. We still have sheep here, so we're sitting good. Move the Uvu. Whoops, I guess I'm supposed to move the Uvu. Don't know why he's aggroing on me, but that's gay.
Танд юун хэрэг өдөр хөдөлсөө. Сонорд жарилыг ёсоор. Танд юун хэрэггүй? Түүнийг барьсан.
Сонорд отсоо. Жарилэг бол би дагсан.
Юун хийх буй? Би тэгээд байсан.
Анхаарна. Сонорд лугаа. Амар байна уу?
Сонорд. За, би хийсүү. Би үүнийг
Анхаарах хүн. Жарилгийг дагсуу. Дагсуу. Би бэлэн байна.
ажилд бэлэн.
Нэр тарвач бэлэн. Сонордод хүн хөрөхгүй да. Мориндо.
Амар байна уу? Ажилд бэлэн ий гарсуу. Анхаард хуу.
Жарилэг болгох гэж байна уу? Би үүнийг бариад өгсөө.
Ууг даран энд байна. Дариухан. Онордод хуу. Отсоо.
Сонорд хөрөхгүй да. Өтөрмөл.
Анхаарнам.
Сонордод хүн.
Аксуу. Би бэлэн байна. Дариу.
Анхаарна. Жарилэг ясаар болгосон. За, тэгсүү. Удараад. Ажилд би юу хийх вэ? Би гарсан. Би үүнийг бариад өгсөө.
Танд юун хэрэгтэй буй? Орд харваач бэлэн.
Анхаарах хүн.
Би бэлэн байна.
Анхаарна. Жарилгийг тагсуу. Хөрөхгүй да. Мориндо.
Амар байна уу? Түүнийг барьсан. Онорд хөрөхгүй да. Өтөрмөл.
Сонорд хөрөхгүй.
Акслуга.
Намайг дагсалж өгөө.
Жарилгийг дагсуу.
Анхаар.
Урамуу туу.
Ажилд бэлэн. Би зүтгэхэд байсан. Хөсхөе. Бэлцүгэ. За, хэвчүү. Удараад.
Анхаар туу. Анхаар туу.
Ажил хүлээж байна.
Онорд туу. Удар.
Сонордод хүн. Хөрөхгүй да. Мориндо. Сонордлого.
Ажилд зүгэлсүү. Онорд туухгүй да. Юун хийх вэ? Амдуга ажил буудад хурхаггүй да. Гориндо. Сонордлого.
Анхаарна. Сайхан болж хой. Танд юу хэрэгтэй вэ? Өтөр хөдөлсөө.
Сонорд туу. Өтөрмөл.
Анхаарах хүн. Отсоо. Амар байна уу?
Юун хийх вэ? Эдүгэ мордож байна. Амар байна уу? Би зүгээд байсан. Анхаар туу. За тэгсүү. Отсоо.
He's castle.
Багталт бөлгөө. Юу?
This is a little bit rough for us, but again, not end of the world. Smart move by him by just kind of ignoring us and kind of doing his own thing.
Сонордод хүн. Өтөрмөл хөсхөө яа бэлэн.
I do want to get this gold under our control.
Онордод хуу. Удар. Жирхийг дагсан. Уулах. Жанжиг ясан.
Сонор хөрөхгүй да. Удаа. Цугаар. Би жарлиг ясаар болгосон. Би чөтгээд
Эдлүгэ. Сонордлуга. Удар. Агслуга. Өтөрмөд.
би бил жарлиг ясаар болгосон.
Амар байна уу?
Танд юу хийх вэ? Амар байна уу? Дараахан. Анхаарахгүй. Юу хийх вэ? Би үүнийг бариад өгсөн. Хөдөлгөөе, бэлэн. Хөрөхгүй да.
Жарлиг буулгах гэж байна юм. Хатгалж буулгах.
Хараач. Жарлигийг тагсан. Санарт.
Цугаар бил. Би үүнийг бариад жарлиг буулгах гэж байна юм.
Нам зугаад удаар. Амар байна уу?
Танд ажилд бэлэн.
Санарт.
За.
Санарт. Хөрөхгүй да. Удаарс. Анхаарна.
Юу хийх?
Жарлиг буулгах гэж байна юм.
За, тэгсэн.
Түүнийг барьсуу. Сонорт хөрөхгүй да. Хөрөхгүй да. Барьсан.
Танд юу хэрэгтэй? Жарлиг буулгах.
Юм болох юм уу? Анхаарахгүй. Санартлага.
Манай зөвлөж өгөө. Манай жарлиг буулгах.
Түр амаа хөр баата. Намдгаа яа. Мэн хараач. Тушаадаг хүнээ. Мэн хараач. Мордож. Хатгах хот надуга. Хараач та. Миний тушаадаг дам. Хатгах хот бэлэн. Хараач та. Тушаадаг дамсуу. Мэн хараач. Миний тушаадаг. Мэн хараач. Тушаадаг хүнээ мэй.
Юу хийж
Бүгд сонс.
уулгартаа?
Чимээгүй.
Ажил хууяа.
Цугаараа анхааралтай байна уу? Би түүнийг одолгүй бариад дуусгасан. Удахгүй шин тушаал ирмээ. Миний тушаалыг даг. Хөдөл.
Зүйтэй.
Тушаал буулгах цаг болно.
Тулдах цаг ирж үдэ. Зориг.
Өтрөөс баатаа. Би үйдсэн.
Ажил хууяа.
Цугаараа анхааралтай байна уу? Үйдсэнд тооцох. Ажил хооя. Бэлэн. Таны тушаалыг бүх дуугүй дав. Энд ажил хэрэгтэй. Одоо үнийг барьсан. Харваачд тушаал юугаа өг.
Ирж үдэ. Би мандайдаг явсан. Ажил хууяа.
За, хаантаа байрлал. Чимээгүй. Баатад наддугаа хамт явсан. Баат удахгүй шин тушаал би гүйцэтгэсэн. Наддугаа жигсаа тасалсан. Хатмаа. Ирэх баатна. Намдугаа яв. Баат наддугаа хамт явсан. Харваач бидний тушаалыг. Ирэх баатна. Юу хийж явахгүй. Харваач миний
Ойх бас үүрэгтэй. Үй төртнө.
харваач тушаалыг үндугаа дагсан.
Аваашаа.
Уугалаа.
Ойх бас өтөр хүчтэй.
тушаал болгох цаг болов. Би танд хариу мордод зөвчмөр.
заагдахгүй. Ой.
Эрэгтэй. Ирсэн багтаа. Ламдугаа яв. Хараа. Баат. Надугаа хампиото. Хүч мэлсэн Мэт хараач. Миний чад даа. Энэ барилга олон зууныг тушаал хүлээхэд бэлэн.
Арваач та.
Тушаалыг дагсан. Юу хийж эзлэх? Цугаараа бүгд хөдөлгөх цаг болсугаа. Ажиллах цаг болсоо. Өхгүй шин надугаа жигсаад ахагдахгүй. Ирчүүдээ би мандайдан явсан. Ажиллахгүй яа бэлэг.
Юу хийж эцлэх буй? Ийм байсан.
Надугаа жигсаад ахагдахгүй. Тушаалыг бүгд угаалсан. Хэрвээ мордод явсугаа. Бүгд тушаалыг дагсан. Ирчүүдээ зоригтой авчихгүй. Ажиллах тодорхой цаг ирлээ.
Зүйтэй.
Бүгд сонс таны хүслийг ёсчлон биелүүлсэн. Одоо үүнийг барьсан. Бидний
Шилжүүлсэн.
чимээгүй. Чухал хэрэг баймаа. Зүйтэй. Хинд ажил гүйцэтгэсэн. Юу хийж эзлэхгүй? Надуур ажил өгнөнгөө за.
Хүчөө.
Ирчүүдээ бид миний үгээр аста анхаарахгүй.
Чимээгүй. Чухал. Шаад бүдээ хүч байдаг.
Намайг хааш
Аяа
явуулсан.
бид
Цугаараа анхаарахгүй байна. Ханус бүгд би танд барьж өгсөн.
их буй.
Удахгүй шин тушаал баатад надлууга хамт явсан.
Бүгд тушаал ирчүүдээ. Бэлэн байгахгүй. Ажиллах цаг болно.
Тушаал сонор би гүйцэтгэсэн.
Ирчүүдээ.
Ирэх байна. Намдуга яа.
Удахгүй хаан юугаа.
Мордод
Тололдох цаг ирчүүд.
тушаал хүлээхэд бид ирчүүдээ хөдөл.
Та юумен тушаах боё? Мэдлээ.
Мооноход харваж байна. Бүгд сонс. Хоёрт баатарж өгсөн. Миний юм.
Шаад бүдээ хүч байдаг.
Юу хийж эзлэхгүй? Эргэлдээ тушаал ирж байна уу?
Марта,
Ирчүүдээ зоригтой давчигдахгүй.
чи юу хүсмүй?
Ажиллах
Тушаал болгох цаг болбой.
ирчүүдээ.
Хөдөлгөх цаг ирлээ. Ирчүүдээ хөдөл. Нохтод харваа. Баатар.
Тололдох цаг ир.
Шатыг бүгд байгасан. Миний тушаалыг дав.
Миний үгээр явахгүй. Ирчүүд хооллох нүрдэс байдаг.
Удахгүй шин тушаал ирмэ. Баатар.
Юу хийж эцлэх буй? Би бүгд бариад
Ууга тартаа. Ажилдаа бил. Цугаараа анхаартай байна.
ирчүүдээ. Бит. Чимээ ирчүүдээ.
Над ууга тартаа. Хилэн болсноо.
Зүйтэй. Бүгд сонс. Би эдгээр бишгийг хасуу. Шаад бүдээ чимээ.
Ууга тартаа. Ууга тартаа. Хатгахгүй надугаа жагсаа.
Ушаалыг хатгүй. Эдүүгээ хөдөлмөй. Эцгийг бүрдгэж ирчүүдээ байна.
Хатгахгүй надад тушаалыг өгсөн байна.
Үсгэлтийн хороо эдэн.
Хоёрт баат.
Танд жаамаар суу.
Мэт хараа.
Ойгоо ирчүүдээ. ажил хүй.
Бүгд сонс. Гişүүд рүү. Би бүтсэн. Хэрэг баг уугаад харваа. Бэнэн. Хүлээвэй. Уугаад та ажилда бид нөө.
It's definitely not going exactly as planned. We have so much gold. Holy shit.
Танд зүтгүүе бэлэг. Сахиус замыг нүгэргүй. Юу хийж байна? Лайдуга жигсаа. Хараач та. Үзүүтэй. Уугалаа. Хараач. Хатгүй баа. Эрэгтэй. Тушаал ирж байваа.
Зүйтэй. Энд ажил хэрэгтэйгүй.
Хараач бидэн биднийг хачуудаа. Эрэгтэй. Тушаал ирж байваа. Хараач.
Somehow he hasn't realized we're like trading yet, so that's like kind of a minor miracle. But a big issue is we don't have So to say I'm rusty, I think would be an understatement here. But I think I'm definitely a little bit more than rusty. Okay, you have our traps, start working those down. Okay, somehow he still hasn't decided to like check out our trade, which is kind of cool. I think it's because he saw deer stones, so he's like just assuming we wouldn't go for it.
Тушаал болгох цаг болов.
So we just got really lucky there. I think that he didn't like just full up push our base. That intro with that Uvu was a little bit sloppy on our part. And like we did an okay job raiding, but not like it wasn't like constant raiding, like it was pretty sloppy. Let's just check out villager count. Okay, yeah, so this is when we hit his villagers on stone. We killed quite a few villagers, so that actually helped quite a bit in terms of our like pop count. He obviously had military schools going, so that's his like eco boom is like that. And then losing those tons of villagers on gold at that end there. Yeah, that was this drop here. Here's that 60 plus, and he dropped down to here. So that was a really big loss on villagers. When he was pushing us hard in the base and we lost a bunch and he had that keep drop, that was definitely like painful, but it wasn't like end of the world. The big thing is he didn't push our trade line. Like if he did, it would have been hard. Like he would have been like losing a lot of troops because we have got a lot of towers there and we have our troops here. And if he went out on the field, that's what gave us like a chance to flank, and he was kind of giving us like a forward push. That's kind of where we had to like kind of stagnate there. We are on this boar over here, so a little bit of wasted eco time here. It used to be before that you would only have to send a couple villagers onto like or an extra villager because they would use their bows against the boar, but now like we don't have to do that. We had tons of gold. There was a few times in the game where our gold count was retarded. Yeah, look at that. We were like floating, like basically from here, the 16-minute mark, we started floating a ton of gold, and we have to start. I have to start getting better at just like using that gold immediately. The double market really helped in like booming our eco up. I almost feel like if you go triple quad market, it's definitely worth it. Like you just scale so nicely with that. Yeah, we got pretty lucky in pushes. He did wall this off, which is a good move. Where was his wood line? So it was just this. Like he didn't even chop that much through it. Oh, I guess it started over here, the wood line, because this is the first lumber camp. So he did chop a pretty good amount of that first one. I mean, in terms of amount, I think we chopped more wood than he did. But the big thing was equalizing with that one raid on his stone, because we knew like against Ottomans, like you know that he's always gonna go on the stone again. If you look at eco count, our eco count's way ahead of his. Yeah, our economy count's super ahead. But the villager count, this was really big here early on, was kind of just to slow down his aggression, like really slowing down that first, that second, and third military schools. that helped a bunch, and then just little raids here and there were kind of helpful, but um, this was huge. Him getting so greedy on this gold and stone, like he got a bunch of stone from there as well as gold, but I don't know if it's worth it. And then dropping 900 food or 900 stone for this, it's probably worth it because he's denying all of these. He's getting all the short fish. He's getting great eco on here, but he knew that our army was going to push him back. He didn't have anything to deal with this army. We still have 4 mangoes in this army. We got a really nice shots off on his Janissary ball pushing us. The Springald Mass was also really big that we started to crank it out. Getting 4 siege workshops is really big too. Like just like one siege workshop, we wouldn't have had this mass. Like even if we had the resources. So making sure our military infrastructure was good. I think a big thing was just like our gold. We got to do a better job of like using our gold and selling our gold because, like right now my queues are empty right now because we didn't have production going. We also got food starved a couple times, so I think that was kind of a bit of a mistake here on our part. Kurultai was huge in kind of making our armies beefier here. 6, and we're doing 10 damage with the range, so we're doing 4 damage per shot against the men at arms. So you need like, yeah, we can one shot with this group against one, but yeah, so it's a pretty decent mass. This is like once you start getting this amount of mass of Mangadai, they actually pretty decent units, but you have to have a really big mass. Yeah, I don't know. I think him GGing out was probably the right call. Him pushing, if he had pushed our trade, like I think he would have done like that. Definitely, just letting us trade was a mistake. Like him just camping out here when he had that big military. Let's see that military count. Yeah, so this is that. Just that's that point when he was going with that big military. And he's getting that big ball while we were going up with Kurultai. He had a really big mass there, so you can see that. Um, like even here, like in terms of this fight, right before he dropped off a bunch, and this is where he dropped off, and we're right here. We've got a difference of military of almost 50 units, but that's because they're half cost of my units, basically. So I'd be curious in the replay to see like what our military army value was, because if he pushed out against here, like he wouldn't have been able to dive as effectively against these outposts. So maybe he saw that. Maybe that's why he didn't do it, and he was just trying to push direct aggression and kind of end here. But yeah, I think maybe if he split his army, that's the other thing. So one big thing about having a mobile cav army is if he splits, you should be able to always take a 2 on, or like, not a 2-on-1, but you should be able to take your whole force and fight his split force pretty easily. What else? Yeah, so that was pretty big. That villager kill off. I wish there was the economy tab. I wish they showed food. We had 10,000 more wood. Just our stone income was actually not half bad. It almost got up to his, and our gold was wow, just not even close. So, yeah, the trade boom is a really strong play. Like you can kind of withhold this. Like we were getting kind of pressured here, but we were like far from dead. You know, like even if he had pushed us here, I didn't notice, but I had like 4K gold in the bank, so we just had to trade out some gold, and we had units. So that was another thing too. We just did a bad job of noticing our gold count and trading. So we were really far from dead. And if you see you go, and the other thing is like army got pushed back because he started incorporating spears and archers. But if you don't make Mangadai until imp, if you just make archers, foot archers until imp, like you'll be sitting in a really nice spot. So also Keshik under Kurultai. I don't know if you haven't seen my video about it. Keshik under Kurultai are some almost, if not the best knights, one of the top like 2 knights in terms of cost. Like they'll lose against like Roost Knights, but cost wise you're actually not losing. You're actually getting more out of your value with the Kurultai. Without the Kurultai, it's not. But with Kurultai, Keshiks are. I still gotta do tests with the French Knights, but there's the second best, if not the best, knights in game. So let's see what else. I don't know. That went a lot better than the last one. I think I'm gonna go do. I mean that was okay. Like this match was okay. There was definitely a lot of mistakes. Like we could have probably gotten more aggro. Actually, well, this is something that I usually do. Well, I guess we'll do it in this video since I haven't done a video in a long time. Anyway, so we'll just be extra long this video. Um, we'll look at. This is what I usually do to look at videos. When I break down videos, I just kind of let you guys kind of see kind of how I break them down and kind of look at mistakes or things I can improve. Because the opening was definitely not as crisp as I would have liked. We definitely messed up quite a bit in our opening. We'll go caster mode. I do like caster mode a little bit more. And we'll just speed this up. Opening, a little bit of mess up here with idle in terms of villagers. We had a lot of idle time with our villagers here at the beginning, so that's a little bit of a mess up just because of the TC placement. Safe gold, safe wood is nice. Sometimes though, just safe uvu, it can be nicer, but I mean, it's kind of it could go either way. Marshland's one thing though is you have safe resources basically off rip, so it's really hard to like get in a good aggressive raid on marshland. So I think safe is definitely a good opening, if not like even eco boom. I wonder if like just taking like middle with a tower and just starting to collect fish out there is not a bad idea as well. I don't know. Marshland's got a lot of interesting potential. Like maybe you can go out and play for this immediately instead. Yeah. Anyways, so let's speed this up a little bit more. Okay, this is where we're starting to get to the interesting stuff. He's starting to age up. Again, in terms of stone, he's gonna start collecting his stone for his next military school. And this is kind of where we were like contemplating if we had built Keshiks instead, because we'd have our first 2 Keshiks out right now, and we could go counter raiding right now. But then we wouldn't have Mangadai to deal with the Spearmen. So if we had some Keshiks, they'd be hitting around the 530 mark. 3 would be at this point about 20 seconds across the... Yeah, I'd say about the 530 mark you're hitting with your first Keshik set of Keshik. So that was the other thing. If we had sent 1 Keshik early on instead, we'd be hitting now. He's at 320 stone. Yeah, so we would be able to deny. So maybe, that's not another bad option as well, is just counter raiding and then going into range. Dropping our market early, and we're getting our wheelbarrow early too. So kind of, it feels bad, but at the same time, getting these early upgrades, from what I've seen in testing, it's huge. By the 10-minute mark, you've already got 200 more resources. And that just grows more exponentially per minute. So, pretty big year. He's losing all of his units here. A little bit late on the timing here. Again, that Ubu burn down kind of affects this. He's able to put a spearman out. A little bit of a mistake on our part, not getting more aggressive here. Maybe we saw that. Yeah, we saw the tower, and we don't want to like risk getting shot. But we probably could have killed at least that 1 more spearman. Interesting tower because it's technically protecting the berries, but not much else. Market's repositioning, and then one thing is I was here at this point and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with like my resources at this point. I wasn't sure like what the move was, and I'm floating quite a good amount of resources. Like yeah, once I drop this archery range, it's gonna use up some of these resources. I'm dropping a Mangadai, double production Mangadai. Yeah, maybe blacksmith isn't a bad move because the Mangadai get just a lot better with upgrades. He's getting his wheelbarrow much later than us too now, but you can see that there's a villager difference or a favor in villager favor. He's got villager or favor. He's got villager favor. I don't know. Population favor. He's got 1 more villager than me. That's what I'm trying to get at. But now all of a sudden we're tied up, so this means he's messing up his town center production a little bit. If we're this close in terms of villagers right now, it's because he's kind of messing up over there. Because we haven't built any market or any traders yet. This is 1 point. Let's see. Again, I guess I guess it's not a bad move sending them all here. We're collecting the deer out here. We had a decent rotation for food. We're building plenty of villager or guys here, and then I was trying to find where I could raid. I guess we're doing. The only spot was this gold, really. Because this woodline is 100% protected. You can't raid from here. You're going to lose all your Mangadai. From here, you might be able to raid, but this tower's got 4 spearmen in it. So again, really rough. You know, maybe committing to this tower a little bit better when they were getting built up would have been the right call, because we would have been able to, once we had killed that, we would have killed the spearman, but we wouldn't have been able to deny the tower. And once he ungarrisons and we hold this position, then we could have denied more units coming into it. So that actually might not have been a bad move, because then we could have started denying this wood line. So maybe a little bit more aggressive early on in here would have been good. A little bit late on the reaction over here and stopping this military school, this stone, but a couple of villagers was pretty big. And now we're getting a pretty mean eco lead, because now we're gonna start trading and we're double trading. So we're basically he's going for a fast castle. So he's going with 10-minute castle. Not a bad move. Again, you're gonna get great units, but he's 1 TC fast castle, and we're basically, it's almost like triple TC because we've got markets. I'd say it's definitely like 2 TC, if not like 2.5 with double markets like that. Especially with Mongols, because you do get some extra resources. So 70, so you get 7 resources of each of all the resources. I think he was gonna build his castle landmark here, and he canceled it and built it over here. I think it's because he saw our guys here. So again, killing a couple of units, not bad. You can see our army value, we're way ahead. So he didn't have much chance of stopping this here. I'm curious where he goes with the Sapaki when he decides to raid. He's dropping barracks. Who's going for the barrack build? So again, I'm just worried about the stone, which isn't a bad call, but I think I should have pulled my con out from where he was a little bit earlier. You can see I'm rotating him right to where I thought he would be coming through with Sapaki, or with units in general, but we're kind of late on the rotation. So that's kind of a mistake there, being that late on the rotation. He goes to castle, and we don't see this. This is big. If we see this military school getting dropped, we can get in range and harass this and kind of deny it. So a little bit of a mistake, because we're trying to screen here, but we could have screened closer. Like you can see the range of the TC here, and we're playing way too safe here. Because you want to react and stuff. It's partly because I don't have a scout with him, but running with a scout with him is kind of risky. I think the scout runs slower. Where's the con at? His con speed is 1.62, so it's actually faster. So if you went with a scout with your Mangada, it's actually never a bad idea, because he's going to run just as fast. It's actually running slower to keep, or he has to run slower so they don't break formation. He just has to run as fast as them. So an extra scout would not have been a bad idea here. We're looking for castle because he's reached castle. We're also looking for castle. So again, not a bad idea. I think you guys saw in game that I was kind of like contemplating getting more units out, but I was like, no, I should probably just castle up. And it's a good thing we did, because he was doing the same thing. This military school could have been denied a little bit, which is kind of big in terms of the Ottoman scaling. Okay, he loses a lot of villagers there, so he loses 4 more villagers. I wonder if we had like manually killed villagers there, if it would have been better. Probably. But you can see our eco kind of is just way out of control at this point, so he can't really he's got to get some serious damage in with these Sapaki. Oh, and he stand grounds with his guys here, and he runs once he starts getting damage. We kind of mess up here. We kill those 3, and then we overcommit. See how many we lose. Thankfully, we only lose... Okay, we only lose 2, which could have been a lot worse, actually. It definitely could have been a lot worse. This forward tower to give us vision wasn't half bad. Nice tower here to give us some vision here. Rotating on food. So our food was a little bit suffering here, right when we are trying to look for our castle up. It's kind of a mistake here. And for aging up the castle and we're having this long of a time to do it, it's kind of a mistake. But we are getting a pre-15-minute castle, so that's still respectable and like good enough to get away with it. And we knew he was gonna put more villagers on keep the outpost garrison, so that's why we didn't try to raid back here, and we just went back to our own side, clean up these wolves that were kind of annoying us. But if I look here, like, where could I raid? I guess I could raid this wood line over here. And I knew that he was going to possibly rotate out to these deer patches, so This might have been the play with those Mangudai, was to come out here and raid this woodline. So that's another mistake. That's something like I always like to come back and look at my opponents and kind of see, you know, I was hitting these spots, you know, and he kind of like reacting, does a good job protecting it. But where was he like exposed? So right now the back of his production is exposed. This other military school could be, again, possibly denied, slowed down if I was back there with units. And now he's just sending a nice big mass. You can see this is the Ottoman ball. And it formed up in 4 minutes. In 4 minutes, he's taken his military really far ahead and is not double, but about 30% more army value than us. And it's quick with the Ottomans. This mass, like, it's really quick. You have to be careful. And so we're running around and we see the manga now. So we're gonna just try to juke the manga now shot. We don't do it because we're getting chased. It gets kind of hard. A little bit of a mistake here. We lose one Mangudai. Collapse in micro, but he can't contest this army here. On the plus side, we do have Keshiks on the backside here, so the more we pull his army here, the better it is for us. This does a pretty good job of keeping his army close to his manga now. But in the long run, we're able to snipe it. We should have pulled out these Mangudai right after Mangudai, these Keshik right after picking that. So we do lose, I want to say we lose one more Keshik if necessary. But let's just say if he pushed us right now, army value wise, he's again about 30% more than us. If you try to push us right now over here, we've got towers. You can't really push it here. I guess this would have been the weak spot, but even this tower is protected with another tower. A big mistake I think was not upgrading these towers with spring hold emplacements a little bit earlier. A little bit more aggressive opponent probably would have shut that down a little bit sooner. We'll just speed up here a little bit. And then this is kind of where I wanted to check it out. It's kind of like another benchmark where I'm just kind of chilling. I'm sitting here. I'm just waiting for his push. I know he's got a big army mass. And you can see his army mass is now... It's about 50% more army value. So now if he pushes with this army, I would actually have a really hard time not shutting down... Or with him shutting down our trade. Something that would have been really sneaky would have been to build the market up here and trade like to this side away from us. It would have been an interesting idea. It's definitely a lot riskier. But this is at this point when he starts pushing us, we can see that he's got a really nice army mass here. He's putting a meter out, but he doesn't have any janissaries out. I thought he had some janissaries mixed in here. That's why I was kind of scared to engage as much as I was. These Sapahi are going to get shredded. And, you know, this army is, like, you know, tanky. I can't do much against it. I love the Mangudai micro is ridiculous sometimes. Like, when you tell them to turn around, they all have to circumvent the whole formation. They don't want to just do that. And then I attack moved the manga now, and they just hit the first guys in front of them, so that was a little bit of a mistake. I should have just kept wrapping around. So keeping those Keshiks alive was a big mistake on my part. I think a good move was pulling these villagers out and keeping them alive. I should have garrisoned these villagers on gold. No need to even be on gold anymore at this point. Really. I should just be relying on market trade at this point. And let's see what our traders are at. 17 traders. So we got a really strong trader production right now, and he's rotating onto here. Again, if I had counter raided and just relied on defenses, static defenses, I'd be in a really bad spot here. I think maybe with a group of like 5 Mangudai, we could have been in his base harassing 100%. Yeah, this woodline's exposed at this point. So I think there was definitely an opportunity here. Oh, we did raid with our Keshik here. Okay, I didn't even realize. So we killed a couple of villagers here. There's a couple dead villagers here. So that was good, and we're pulling them out now. But I think they're an attack move? No, they're running. Okay. So they are coming out. We're pulling the carrot. We have to fall back. So this was a little bit of a hectic part for sure. Okay, so we're attacking, moving on to the manga now. Again, his army, a big army is chasing us over here. This army is... I mean, there's a lot of men-at-arms that are really tanky. There's a lot of spearmen that are going to get melted under the TC. And the big thing is he's losing his Mangudai. Once he loses his Mangudai, my Mangudai are free to really just do what they want. Spring Odin placement, upgrades again really late. And this is the point where if we had noticed we were floating 1200 gold, this would have been a really good point to start selling some of those resources. Our queue, we've only got 3 Mangadine queue, and we have 3 stables. I think another mistake is I've messed up with these villagers. I didn't realize they were down here. I thought they were, for whatever reason, I didn't think they were down here. I thought they were like over here. Like, I thought I was building stables over here. So that was a really big mistake. In the long run, it doesn't really matter that much. I mean, the plus side is like, you can basically like, whatchamacallit, you're basically like splitting your infrastructure, so it can be a good thing sometimes. Like if he shuts down one source of infrastructure, but the bad thing is like, if he has your army in between it, all of a sudden you're in a really bad spot. So we garrison all of these villas. Another big mistake is we don't have enough towers for all of our villas. That was pretty bad. But one good thing is we do keep our Krota alive, kill the meta, and we kill this Mangonel. So those are both 2 really big things. Springle Tower over here is going to be really big in helping to protect our trade. And Khan getting trapped with berry bushes is just a meme, but he does able to survive. Khan is really strong. Once you hit castle and up, he's actually a really strong unit. Again, this Springle Tower, better late than never, but it's doing a good job of cleaning these guys up. And he's gonna fall back now. And now army value wise, he's just barely ahead of us. And there's no way, and this is where I was kind of thinking, like maybe at this point after this first initial push, like what if he had gone into my trade line here? And I can actually see now, if he had done that, it probably would have been suicide, because he doesn't have anything. He's got 1 manga now to deal with us, and I guess one thing is we could have started making more infrastructure. Again, 1400 gold floating right now is really, really bad. 6 idle villagers over here, like trading out some stone, grabbing 2 villagers, 4 villagers, even 4 villagers, and just cranking out a bunch of infrastructure and then sending them back onto wood would have been huge. So definitely a little bit of a mistake there. I think that's definitely something that could have improved, was floating. Yeah, and there's some, so I'm using gold, but I'm using it, I'm not trading it down. So again, it's not a bad thing using it. You're like trading it down, you're actually losing resources, but when you're floating that much, I think it's really bad. This is a pretty big thing. You go with 13 Mangadai. Really bad miss micro there. We lose 3, so 3 times under 6, so it's almost like 500 resources lost there, which is pretty big. You can see that turns the army value from almost the same to him almost being 25% bigger. So pretty big deal. Kurota here is really nice to heal up our army. We should have stopped our Mangadai here. We're trying to go for a raid around the backside, and this is kind of where we're looking for where can we kind of find things, because he's running out of food, he's going on deer. So we're hoping to find something over here. I believe we're routing through. Where were we routing? We're hoping to catch something here, but we don't see anything. So, kind of a weird route. We probably should have routed it closer to these deer. A little bit of a mistake. A little bit closer to the deer would have been a little bit better. Here we're seeing our routing is finishing. We're trying to come around, see if he's rotated to a backwood line, which he hadn't. So a little bit of a mistake there. But eco-wise, you can see we're almost double eco. So, and half the reason this fight is still going on is because, I mean, again, he's got 8,000 army value, and he said it's 60 to 25, but really in army value-wise, it's only 30% more. Even though here it says it's 3 times more, it's 300% more, it's really only 30% more. So it's, you know, and since we're playing a defensive situation right now, it's not really hard to hold under this. And this is like full-blown Ottoman push right now, because it's 4 military schools and a mech mid. And we probably could have done a little bit better in terms of delaying some of that too, but I think there's some windows for raiding that we've missed. Now that I look at it, like, you know, staying closer here when we're rotating, you know, just staying, you know, within this TC range. If we had rotated here, we would have denied the 3rd military school, would have denied stone collection a lot more, would have done a tower, so it would have been really big, because we also would have gotten shots off on those buildings, and if he had canceled them, would have been really big. So definitely a little bit of a mistake there on our part. Okay, army value wise again, so he's 70 to 33. He's it's, you know, military count wise, it's saying he's 200% military on us, but he really isn't 200% military on us. He's only he's 2,500, so it's 30 again, 30% more military than us. So if he did try to push us here, he probably would have gotten messed up pretty bad. Like he might have shut down trade for a minute. I guess the other thing too is with some of these villages, and this is something like foresight that it's good to have in matches, but it's kind of hard to do at the same time. We would have been taking one villager from here, take one, drop off, and shift click them up here and build a couple of markets. Because these markets can start trading over here, and they can start trading over here. I would honestly almost argue that trading into his market would be the best place first. Even though it's like super greedy, it's just something like you would never expect. Okay. So he pushes us here. Maybe a little bit late in pulling back our Kurultai here. Yeah, we're doing other things, which is not terrible, but just was kind of late. We're trying to get a flank on this mangonel, or on the mangonel. Okay, we have to fall back here. So it's again not a bad move. Let's see. He's got 10 Janissaries. I thought there was actually more. It's hard to tell sometimes with the Janissaries and the Spearmen. Part of it's probably because my graphics are so bad. We have a nice little raid here. We killed a couple of villagers. But he's killed actually quite a bit of... He's killed a lot of workers too, so... We started repairing our Kurultai, which is pretty nice. Again, militarily wise... Again, he's only about 30% bigger military than us. 33%. And this is that big push, but you can see this is exactly why... When your armies are actually... Seems like it's a lot more, but it really isn't. Like, just because your military count is up, doesn't necessarily mean you're in a better spot. This is when we did start making siege, when he started cranking out mangonels. I think we probably could have started dropping siege workshops earlier. If we had earlier siege workshops, earlier springwells, earlier mangonels, we do a lot better against this army comp. And you can see once we had siege out, it was just an easy sweep. But part of the issue was we weren't doing that properly. Now we have a bunch of villagers idle. It would have been good to make more villagers on the wood. I almost feel like the hard transition into... Oh wow! So those Keshik got absolutely shredded by those spearmen. And you can see the military trade right now. He's lost a lot of units, and so have we. And army value now is he's now at almost 100% army value wise. He's almost double of what we have. So this actually would have been... This is actually the moment when we lose the game against a slightly better opponent, because he rotates to the south and he shuts down our trade here, and we can't do anything to stop it. And that's because we were late on our springolds. Because if we have springolds, we deny these mangonels, we deny those mangonels, we can fight this army with our mangonite. Like, we push him back, he can't just stay. So that's definitely a big mistake there. This idle time is also a really big mistake. So yeah, those some things. I think getting the siege workshop up earlier was a big mistake on our part, not getting them up earlier. So kind of like how we play against England and focusing, making sure we get siege workshops up early is something against Ottoman is looking like it's going to be really important, especially if they go Janissaries. Because against Janissaries, you don't really like... I have no response to Janissaries with my comp, except for mangonels. So he's got 23 villagers on this front line. This is just like a murder, like, choke for him. So this is a really bad take for him to fight. And then now he's gone from, he's gone from double our army comp to basically equal army comp in like a minute and a half. So this is kind of what the defender's advantage is. Like, it's really hard for him to do anything. Here we have to pull our villagers away and re-rally our pastures to another spot over here, which isn't like end of the world situation. I was trying to figure out what to do here. I was doing other things. But now we're getting siege up, and this is kind of just where the battle is turned out. Because once we have Mangano up, even just one, like, all of a sudden his spear masses are just going to get obliterated. Same with the Janissaries. Men-at-Arms are going to do a pretty good job, but really, the Men-at-Arms can't really do much against, like, Keshiks. Like, Keshiks trade really good into Men-at-Arms. Kind of sucks, and this is what I mean with that split infrastructure. The split infrastructure, I was losing one Keshik out of every 3 I was producing from over here, which is, like, really bad. So, again, split infrastructure isn't a bad thing, but early on it's pretty important, like, that it's safe split infrastructure. So that's kind of a mistake on my part. And then this is where we're floating a ton of gold. And I wonder when we realize it. yeah, we got tons of. I think we realized when we had 3K gold floating, and this is kind of what like was shuffling for resource. I'm like, what am I gonna do? And there we traded it up. Okay, that's where we traded up a ton of resources right there. So pretty late there, but we do have strats out. This is where it switched. So that's a pretty good hold here. So I think the rest of it doesn't really matter. At this point, we were so far ahead in terms of eco, there wasn't much he could do, and you can see how his army gets just like incinerated by mangonels there. And now we have a bigger army value. It's been what? That's been like 2-3 minutes. So there's a really small window to push for our opponent here. There's like a 2-3 minute window where he was with a better armor value, and he's getting siege down, and now he can't push us because we got spring ones and he doesn't, and he's just building mangonels out of here, but he doesn't have any siege workshops to help this. So this is just a straight super greedy ottoman push. So now yeah, this is just the end for him basically. And now our army's more than his in terms of value, even though he's got more numbers. We're now like a 30% more expensive army. This point here, we're trying to bait him into taking this, but we messed up our curl type positioning quite a bit. He had a window here where if he had turned on us, it actually would have done a really good amount of damage here. Losing a ton of manga die. Little bit of mistake. There's like what 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 dead manga die for no reason. That was really bad micro on my part. Curl tie is huge here. I love the curl tie as a landmark. It's really good. I wish it was a little bit better in some aspects, but like when it was just rolling around, I couldn't get it placed. Like it would be nice if it gave some sort of a yeah. Let's paint game's 100% over at this point. I think he does. It definitely a smart man realizing that it was over, which is nice. But yeah, you can see this armor just get absolutely like obliterated over here. And I thought he had a lot more Janissaries in here, but it's actually mostly spears. And you can see the damage that the mangoes are able to do on those pump units. Yeah, mangoes do just tons of damage. So that was an interesting thing. I was kind of interested to see just like how really open was our trade, and it really looks at like the 20-ish minute mark. There was a small window for him because we hadn't built Siege Workshop. So I guess against Ottomans, the big takeaway for me on this match, besides like some of the early raiding mistakes, is to get a Siege Workshops up in time to deal with his mangoes that are incoming, because we knew that they were coming out. So like getting a Siege Workshop, prioritizing that is pretty important. Maybe a little bit more macro on wood would have been a good thing too. We started to focus so much on wood food collection, we kind of abandoned our wood collection, and our wood was like forward, so it's kind of a dangerous wood line. So maybe splitting it. I'm kind of curious if there was like a window there for to go like 2 TC. Probably not. No, there probably wasn't. But maybe a little bit of over macro on food there. Um, I don't know. I had so much gold. I probably could have bought a second TC. So there's definitely a little bit of a mistake on my part not getting a second TC, because if he had shut down my trade, if I didn't like get that reestablished on the other side, I probably wouldn't even have thought of this reestablishing on the other side. It was such an afterthought. A second TC probably would have been a really good move. So that's it for me. That's basically um my I guess returning to trying to make videos for you guys. Sorry about the long hiatus again. Sorry if this video has gone on really long too. What are we now? We're in 40 minutes. Jesus. Yeah. So I'm just drawing on at this point. But thanks for watching, and yeah, hopefully I can start uploading and catch you guys on the next one.